Hi everyone, welcome back to Tulsi. Today I'm making vegan scallops with a pumpkin quinoa risotto. The main motivation for this recipe was that I had pumpkin puree left over from Halloween. And while at this point I was kind of over sweet pumpkin things, I didn't want to let that puree go to waste. I was kind of unsure what to do at this point until in Whole Foods I saw these, king oyster mushrooms, and I knew I wanted to make vegan scallops with them. And because of that summer I spent binge watching Hell's Kitchen, I knew that if I was going to make vegan scallops, I had to make vegan risotto. Making the vegan scallops is super easy. All you do is cut up your oyster mushrooms into 1-inch pieces and score each side. This helps the pieces cook evenly on both sides. But before you saute them, you want to marinate them first for at least half an hour. I'm doing a really simple marinade of brown sugar, soy sauce, and vegetarian oyster sauce, but you could really use whatever you want. I also decided to crush up a couple pieces of garlic and throw that in the marinade too. Next, all you have to do is toss in your mushroom pieces and make sure they're all coated. After about half an hour, heat some oil in a pan. Then add your mushrooms cut side down. Move them around the pan to make sure that they don't stick to each other or to the pan. After about 2 to 3 minutes on the first side, flip them over and get the other side cooked as well. At this point, I decided that I wanted more garlic, so I chopped some up and put that in the pan too. After both sides and the garlic cooks, you're basically done. Now you can move on to making that pumpkin risotto. To make the risotto, start by cutting up whatever vegetables you want. In this recipe, I'm using half a white onion and frozen peas as the vegetables and seasoning it with ginger and mint. Start off by sauteing your onions and adding some salt to help soften them. After about a minute, add your ginger. Make sure to mix this up nicely so you don't get any bites of ginger. Next, add your pumpkin puree. Next, add your frozen peas. Give everything a good mix. Now you can just tear in some mint. I decided to add soy sauce because that would really cut the sweetness of the pumpkin. Next, I tossed in about 1/4 cup of dried quinoa. And after thoroughly mixing that in, I added my water. This will take around 20 to 25 minutes to cook. You can see here that the water level has decreased, and that's because the quinoa is absorbing a lot of that water. Check for doneness by taking the spoon and tasting some of it. If the quinoa is still crunchy, that means it's not done yet. At this point, my quinoa was absorbing a lot of that water, but it still wasn't done, so I knew I had to put more water in the pan and let it cook for a couple more minutes. At this stage, the quinoa was fully cooked and the risotto was ready. I plated it up by putting some risotto down on the plate first and then adding my vegan scallops on top. I also decided to garnish with some cilantro. And there you have it. It's a super simple dish, perfect for a weeknight. The mushrooms came out really savory with a hint of sweetness from the brown sugar. And the same flavors were also in the risotto. The sweetness came from the pumpkin, and the savoriness came from the onions and the soy sauce. Definitely give this recipe a try and let me know if you do. And make sure you subscribe to this channel for more content.